Communication is an Art. I'm Pam Lippett of Pamela Lippett Communications. I am a speaker, a communication strategist, a coach, and now a podcaster. If this is the first time you're listening to one of my episodes, welcome. And if you're coming back for more, a double welcome, because hopefully you liked some of the content you heard and you're back for more. You'll see new episodes most weeks. I try my best, as well as some special episodes with guests as we dive into what makes for successful communication, both personally and in the workspace. So expect a short form from me, about 10 to 15 minutes at most, enough so you can get in your car and go. If you've got questions, feel free to reach out. And again, you can find me at Pamela Lippett on LinkedIn. That's where the best place to find me is. So now on to today's episode. So today on Communication is an Art, I'm taking a step back. So welcome everyone, and you're welcome to take that step back with me. You know, in communications, within Communications is an Art podcast, I often talk about leadership. And this month, it's March of 2026 when I'm recording this. This month, I'm really talking about women leaders and quotes from women leaders, and then using that as a jump off point to have a discussion with you. I hope you feel that I'm actually having a discussion with you, the person listening to this right at this moment. So this week, my Monday motivation quote that you saw on LinkedIn, if you're following me on LinkedIn, if you're not following me, send me a message request, a connection request, and just say you've listened to my podcast. It would make me so happy. Don't you want me to be happy so I keep doing this? I'm hoping you do, because more and more of you are listening to this. Okay, back to the real stuff. What is my quote this week? It is by Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't think there have been many better leaders than her, many people who fought through glass ceilings to make a name for themselves. And her quote is, "Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you." And I think that is so important and something we often don't think about, why others want to join us. So in kind of staying to the back of what I'm talking about and going back to the beginning, we've talked about good leaders, bad leaders, who you want to follow in their ways that they connect with people, and who you never want to follow and never want to emulate. But what makes a leader? What is it? What is that spark that makes you a leader? And how do you know you're a leader? What is the first time you felt comfortable saying, I'm a leader in this organization, or I'm a leader in this job or in this team? What was it? And I say most of the time, it's an external force. It's someone else giving you the permission to be a leader. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. For me, I think that's what happened. You know, I've talked about before that when I was a little kid, I didn't talk to anybody. I did my own thing. I was quiet and shy, and invisible would have been a great word for me. That had followed me for a long time, and I would say pretty much into the beginning of high school. That idea that I did my own thing, I got my own grades, I didn't need to compare to anyone, I didn't need anyone else to notice me, because that deep down part of me always felt that notice was for things for the bad, not for the good. But then all of a sudden, people started turning to me and asking me for questions and encouraged me to use my voice. Are you encouraging others to use their voice? You encouraging others to do what you've learned and putting it forward, that ability for other people? I hope you do. Maybe if you do, you'll leave me a comment somewhere and let me know what you have done to move things forward for the for friends, for family, for the next generation of workers. There's a trigger somewhere there, and we should give it back to the next group. So for me, I think it was someone said to me, why don't you run for an office in high school? I think you'd be good at that. I think people would vote for you. The thought that people would vote for me was insane in my high school life. Insane. I guess now people say, oh, you had so many friends. And I was like, well, I wish I knew, because I didn't think so. I have a friend that I've kind of re-met later in life that I went to high school with, and he's always saying to me, oh, remember at this party and that party what happened? And I'm just nod my head, sure, because I wasn't invited to those parties. Am I resonating with anyone here? But then something clicked. I found something outside of school that really drove me forward, and that was my youth group. And in my youth group, I could be what was much more, I think, my authentic self, a place where I was listened to, a place where I was given opportunities. And with those opportunities came that feeling that I could encourage other people and lead other people. Is that the right word I want to use? I don't know. But I guess that is what leadership is. It's leading other people. Who are you leading? If you're only leading in your own little vacuum, you're not leading, you're just spouting. So be a leader to others, be an example to others. That's so important to me in all aspects of my life, is to be an example and to bring others in. It's why I talk about networking and how I network, and how people see me as a good networker, because I'm always leading the charge for other people to succeed. And that really is something that, I don't know, makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. But where do you get there? How do you become that leader in the room? You offer good advice, you back other people up, you're seen and you want to be seen and bring others into being seen. When you lead a meeting, if you're just leading that meeting and you're not making space for other people to give their ideas and share their comments, then it's a monologue. And I don't think monologue and leader can ever be in the same sentence. It's got to be dialogue. It's got to be inclusive. It's got to be opportunities for others. That's how we see leadership. It's almost a reflective word that we're leaders, but we're helping others to become leaders. Who have you seen that you can say you've encouraged to be a leader? I can think of my friend Karen Emmer, who really started working for me the day she graduated college. It's good to have young friends. And I wanted her to succeed. I knew she had it in her, and now I watch her and she is so successful. And to me, that is payback. That is what makes me happy. So Karen, I'm going to tag you in this. I hope you listen to my podcast. We're supposed to have lunch in a couple of weeks or dinner. I hope you will think of me when you think of people who help move you forward. I always like to do that. When I was younger and I would go to a conference, there were a few older people. They're now contemporaries, but then I saw them as older. I was a young 20-some-year-old. They were already married with, kids. So in those years, it was much, much broader of a difference. It's come together as we age. And they always included me. They always said, we're going to lunch. You want to go? We're going from the airport. Do you need a ride? All those things are such little trivial things when you think about them, but make such an impact on others. So now whenever I go to a conference, I always look at the airport if there are some young people heading to the conference that also got off the plane or picking up baggage at luggage. And I always say to them, come in my cab, come in my Uber. Let me take you with. I may never see them again or hear from them again. Now, probably I will because of LinkedIn and making connections. But there were a number of years where I just said, yeah, come in my car, come in my cab. It's a little thing, but I hope they appreciated it. I hope they saw it as a leadership trait. I see it as a leadership trait. What do you see it as? I ask a lot of questions because I'm pretending that I'm talking to you. Yes, you at the other end of this recording. So those are things that I think make leaders leaders. The ability to lead, the ability to be inclusive, the ability to want others to succeed, the ability for someone to notice that and say to you, wow, that was a great example of how to lead. I heard that in my life, and I've been honored to hear that in my life, and I hope to continue to hear that in my life. So as we go, and I'm going to a networking event tonight where I hope people see me in that light, maybe I'll ask a couple of them, how they view leadership and what they see as the first time they considered themselves a leader. I'll get back to you on that on a future episode, because I think that's a great way to share what others think about leadership. So that's it for today. It's a short and sweet message. Again, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is a real hero of mine. I think that she definitely broke glass ceilings, and when you hear about her, she really makes the mark of what I would love, on my little level to be seen as. So have a great week, everyone, and we'll be back next week. Follow, connect, share, all those things to do. Have a good day. Podcast. I hope you found something interesting in it. I wanted to share with you a new offering from my company, Pamela Lippert Communications. I'm actually offering a communications audit. So who is this for? It's for a company, a nonprofit, where there's new leadership, new board members, or new senior hires who may not be up to speed and are seeing different things when they're looking at different pieces of paper, because really it's the new people who are really diving in and looking at things. It could be because you have new programs or new clients or new services, and you want to give them a consistent message about your company. It may be that people are asking the same questions all the time. That means you should be answering it in your materials so they don't have to ask. And it's also if you're seeing internal frustrations among your team. Maybe they don't have the right materials they need. So if you're interested in a communications audit for your company, I am giving a bonus for anyone who mentions hearing this on the podcast. Not only will I do a communication audit of your materials, but I'll also come in person or via Zoom and meet with your team to go over all the materials as we start and as we finish, to make sure everyone's on the same page. So with that, shoot me a text or an email if you're interested, and I am happy to reach out and discuss how your communications can be smoother, more concise, and lead to more business. Thank you.